Welcome everyone to episode number 28. We got Tommy Reynolds in the house tonight in the virtual studio. Stick around. We'll have him here live in our virtual studio in just a moment. Thank you all for being a part of this podcast. The last 2 weeks kind of been different. We had a group happy hour 2 weeks ago and then did a little college football last week. So we're back to what we have been doing before that. So stay tuned. We'll have Tommy Reynolds here in just a moment.
Welcome to ARCS, Behind the Driver Podcast.
Welcome everyone to episode number 28. Got Tommy Reynolds in the house. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing okay. So, I'll throw it to you first. Tell everyone who you are. A lot of people know who you are, but some people don't. So tell us who you are, where you live, a little bit about you, and we'll go from there.
My name's Tommy Reynolds. I think you can tell a little bit by the title. Born and raised in the suburbs of Chicago. Um, Never, I don't know. I grew up with racing. Always been around cars. My dad owned 1,000 cars when I was little, and I've always bounced around that cars, and it kind of just became a little bit of a fascination for me, and it grew from that. Um, Went to the Brickyard 400 when I was little, and everything changed from there, I guess, for the worse or for the better.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. You're not a ginger anymore.
I know, I know.
What the
It's
fuck, dude? You look like a
Yeah,
fucking Backstreet Boy.
I know, I know.
what
Listen,
what was your thought process, all right?
I was really bored, dude. I hadn't done jack shit the whole summer. This was one of the most boring summers I can remember, and just fuck it. I gave it a shot, and
Hey.
yeah, it turned out decent. I think everybody was a little shocked when I did it, but I don't think it's too bad now. So
No, it looks alright. I mean,
okay, Ryan, I see
it
how
looks
it is.
alright. Hey, frosted tips would have been better. Dale Jr. would be proud, but hey,
Then
whatever. Hey,
we gotta
all
wait till it grows out. Then we'll see.
well, yeah. All I can say is if we break into song, we start singing "Bye Bye Bye." Reynolds has got lead on vocals.
Yeah,
So
will come around to Atlanta.
hey, well, yeah. Trust me, if it doesn't happen tonight, it might happen in Atlanta for sure. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about that trip. You're coming to hang out with us. You excited? You nervous? Like what's your thought process
I
there?
mean, I don't know, a little bit of both. I've never I mean, I've seen Mulkey and Simkowski and Sears. That's the three people I've seen, and I think Sears is going. But
Yep,
again, I mean,
we'll
it's
be there.
nerves because I've never really seen you guys. But at the same time, I'm excited. You know what I mean? I've known you guys for a couple of years, and I mean, we have this, but it only does so much. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
different.
I think it'll be fun. Yeah.
It's different for sure because I know like the first year when we went to Bristol Dirt, the first time we ever kind of met, there were a lot of people that I'm telling you, man, it's like when you see them in person, you hear their voice in person, it's like it completely different. Yeah, it's completely different sounding than when you're on a headset or you're on, iRacing over comms and like you hear them in person and you're like, oh shit, you sound like that. Like, obviously, a lot of people know what I look like because I do this podcast. A lot of people have seen me over the years with all the, you know, corporate retreats we've done. But a lot of people don't know what some people look like. Like, a lot of people don't know what you look like. A lot of people don't know what Brandon Fetterplace looks like. Brandon Proudfoot's the same way. All of them are coming this year. It's going to be a blast. I'm excited.
Like the first person when you said that came to mind. I don't think I've heard Baxter
Oh,
talk ever.
I have I have no
Yeah.
idea. When I see Ross Baxter, I would, unless he says, "Hey, I'm Ross Baxter," I won't know who the fuck he is. Like
Like, hey,
I
buddy,
won't.
you lost yourself
Yeah.
at the wrong house or
Are you?
something?
Do you belong here? Like I'm confused. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know. It should be a fucking blast, though. If it's not, I'd be very surprised. There's everybody there's a character, so it'll be fun.
yeah, most of us are coming in Thursday or Friday, depending on who. A lot of people coming in Thursday evening, some coming in Friday morning. When are you planning on getting there? I think you said Friday.
Yeah, apparently Cody's picking me up from the airport now, so Friday noonish or 1. So we'll see. With the
Uh,
O'Hare traffic and whatnot, it might be closer to 1. So
yeah, well, Atlanta has some pretty bad traffic sometimes too, but not quite as bad as Chicago, I don't think. But yeah, I'm excited for
yeah,
this year. We like I said, every year we always have like the core group. Like obviously Rick James is going, me, Tom Sears, Dustin Painter. I think that's pretty much. I think we only have 4 now that have been to every single retreat because Seth's not coming this year. Tri-Strand is coming. I think Tri-Strand has been to every event so far. So we have about 4 or 5 of us that have been every single year. But every year we always have like 2 or 3 new people that we have never seen, never, hung out with. So I'm excited. I actually have an extra ticket because Kinsey can't unfortunately come this year. She's got to stay home. She's got work and taking care of the dog. So yeah, I'm coming alone. But we had already paid for her ticket, so I texted my dad and I was like, hey, if you want to come watch the race with us. And my dad went to the first ever ARCS corporate retreat at Bristol Dirt. He actually came and stayed at the house with us. And there's a lot of stories that have been on this podcast before about when my dad came with us. But he's going to be at the race with us Sunday, so that'll be cool. I love my dad and everybody that was able to spend time with him at Bristol Dirt. He's a pretty cool dude. So that'll be fun to have my dad there. Cody obviously will be there. So I got a lot of family that'll be there. That'll be a blast. But being with y'all,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a cup race since I think 2018. So I haven't seen the next gen. I haven't ever been to Atlanta. So It's a lot of firsts.
Atlanta is definitely right now, especially, is in that stage where it's like, because the first year, me and Kinsey went to the very first race when they had redone the track, and it was legit super speedway racing. Like it was like Talladega, but just like a little baby Talladega. There was no tire wear. The cars handled perfectly. Now, after a few years,
it's starting to.
It's right there in between. It's like it still wants to be a super speedway, but it's got that wear now, and it's like in between. So I think the race. I mean, obviously, the race earlier this year, Atlanta, was amazing. I mean,
you couldn't have asked for it.
Yeah, I mean, I could have asked for Blaney to.
All right, well,
but still, it was a great finish, and I'm hoping that when we go, I think it'll be a great finish too. We just have to hope and pray that the rain stays away. It is Georgia in September, so those damn thunderstorms, better than any of us. Those thunderstorms are rough down there in the South in late August and September.
One of the things I've been worried about, the hurricane season is supposed to be really active this year. So I've been scouting it just every day just to make sure nothing's like coming in. So it looks good so far. We're on a good track here for no at least long term storm.
Well, I need your help because I'm taking me and Kinsey are taking her dad and her stepmom to Michigan this Sunday. And I've been like, I feel like I've been like you. I've been checking the weather like every 15 minutes, and it's like, I don't really know. It's like, oh yeah, it'll be breezy in the morning with an occasional thunderstorm. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, are we going to race or not? Like,
it doesn't give you any time. Just like, you'll be fine.
Yeah. It might rain. It might not. Cause like her dad's been to a couple NASCAR races, but he said like the last one he went to was like 20 years ago. So like, like he probably doesn't even really fully remember that, or and 20 years ago you're talking what, 2004, so basically Gen 4 car. I mean, these cars, these cars are completely different, and her stepmom has never been to a NASCAR race. So obviously I'm from Georgia. I'm a redneck boy. I move up here to Michigan. I always talk about NASCAR, and they're just like, I don't think they fully get it. Like they don't understand like why I'm such a huge fan of NASCAR, because like NASCAR and college football, like those two things on a Saturday during college football season, don't expect me to do anything, and on a Sunday during NASCAR season, don't expect me to do anything. Like it just that's how I grew up. But
might as well just cross out September.
October,
November.
September, October, November. Weekends are off limits. Yeah. but
Yeah.
she had never been, and I was like, well, and it's crazy because her dad's birthday is actually August 18th, so the day of the race, and I was like,
Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, well, let's buy some tickets, and so I got some tickets right in turn one, and they're actually really good tickets because there's our seats, like most people that have been to a NASCAR race, you have seats, and then you have like no leg room. Well, this section of seats has a tabletop in front of you, so you can like set your drinks
Awesome.
on it,
Yeah.
but you also have a little extra leg room. So I was like, we gotta take your we gotta take your family, like we gotta take your dad.
Yeah.
Your stepmom's never been. She thinks I'm crazy because I like these race cars going in
Yeah.
circles, but if I can take her and let her experience the whole, like the sounds, the smell, the feel,
Yeah.
she'll get it. And so we bought 4 tickets. We actually bought headsets with the
Okay.
scanners. Yep. So we got
I
four.
have those.
Yeah, we got four headsets. We're just renting them. We didn't buy them.
Okay.
We're just renting them. But it's the ones where 2 of the headsets can actually, they have the intercom, so you can talk to each other.
Yeah.
So I was like, we gotta have that because you can't hear each other when the cars are going. Like you just can't. They're so loud. So I was like, well, let's get 2 sets of the headsets, and then we can swap them around. So like if I want to talk to your dad, we'll swap the headset. I'll talk to him and be like, hey, did you see that? Or like her stepmom, obviously never been to a NASCAR race, so I can be like, hey, did you hear that? Did you see that? Like, I can kind of guide them along. So I'm hoping that it doesn't rain, but
who knows? It's
we'll see.
Michigan in
Yeah,
the summer. Yeah.
it's Michigan, so
I don't know how old ARCS are, but e- every basically every year at Indy we have them, and 2021 that race basically went the whole way green. So
Yeah.
it's constant. You have cars going constantly, and those headsets come in clutch every single time because you kind of just want to talk to somebody, but you can't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're V6s, but they're still loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
even at Michigan, like you really, especially if they do get a long green flag run, you're gonna have cars the entire time. Yeah,
and that's I've heard that about the next gen is that it's way louder than the other one that the Gen
Dude.
6 was. So
I'm telling you, it is loud. It is. And I mean, I'm one of those people that I never wear earplugs. I just don't do it. I just love the sound. I don't want to mask it. And everybody's like, you're gonna lose your hearing. I don't give a shit. I go to like one NASCAR race a year. Luckily this year I'm going to Michigan. I'm going to Atlanta, so I get to go to 2 this year. But if my hearing goes out, who cares? Like I want to hear those things. I want to hear.
Then I won't need earplugs anyway.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. If I lose my hearing, the next time I go, I won't have to wear them anyway. So, but this time I'll wear the headphones, just so I can talk to them. But I will take them off though. And I've already told her. Oh, I told Kenzie's stepmom. I was like, when they give the command, do not wear the headphones because I want you to hear it. I want you to be like, drivers, start your engines, and I want you to hear them like, and I want her to hear that. And I was like, and do not put them on until after the first lap. I want you to hear it for that first lap. When they come out of 4 and they go green and they come through, because we're in turn 1, so they're going to be almost full song. By the time they get to 1 at Michigan, I was like, I want you to hear it. And then after that, you can put your headphones on. You can listen to whatever driver you want to, like, do that. But you have got to hear them fire up, and you got to hear them take off. So hopefully she'll listen to me. And hopefully it doesn't rain. Like I said, I've been checking the weather every 15 fucking minutes, just being like, okay, is it better?
Podcast, I'll have to give you an update.
Yeah, you got to give me an update because I'm freaking out because
the first couple laps at Michigan too are like basically a plate race now with these cars. So
Oh yeah,
what and especially on that restart, they're just gonna be set together.
yeah.
So
They're
it'll
gonna be
be loud.
three, four
Yeah,
wide. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
It'll be a good time. And I was gonna say this too. At Indy every year, the way the tickets are booked is that it has like seniority with it. So
Yeah.
if you bought tickets like 25 years ago or 45 years ago, like my dad's been doing, then you have it like there. You know what I mean? You get the
Hmm.
first choice, and we always sit next to the same people year after year. So ended up being friends with this kid now, basically just at the Indy 500 every year. So I'll disconnect from my dad like midway through a race, and I'll plug in to him and just we'll talk. You know what I mean about what we've been doing.
Yeah.
And last year, man, when Larson was running, he had a Larson tee on, I had a Larson tee on, and I wasn't paying attention or something, and all of a sudden I hear him go. And I was like, "What happened, dude?" He's like, "Larson speeding out pit road," and
Like,
I was so
fuck.
mad.
Yeah, that was
But
such a bummer.
that was such a good race, dude. I don't
It
think I'll see a
was.
better 500 in my life.
Well, I'm really hoping that Penske lets Blaney do it next year. That would be so cool. But he said he wanted to do it. Like, let him do it. You
I
know?
know. Look, everybody wants to do the Indy 500. It's special for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really think Roger barely lets rookies drive those cars? I doubt he's gonna let Blaney in one. So
I don't
that's
know,
the only reason I'm
man.
saying. Like if Blaney goes to Andretti, come right in. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what might happen,
True.
but that'll never happen, especially with Roger.
But I think that because he also has IndyCar drivers that want to run NASCAR, so it's like, come on,
Yeah,
Roger,
oh, dude,
make it happen.
I would love to see Scott McLaughlin versus SVG in a cup car. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Like, yeah, there you go. Just put like a road. Oh, now the Coke 600's the same weekend. You can't change that. But
Yeah.
you put them like close to the same weekend. Just
I
let them
don't know.
switch.
If Ryan Blaney ran the Indy 500, I would be so excited. And I know
Yeah,
it's probably not going to happen, but he did say he was interested in doing it. So maybe some
I
team
don't
out
know. They
there
should let him
can,
at least get a test or something.
yeah, like let him just try it. Like, see, I mean, Blaney is he's pretty good. Like he's got some dirt background. Like his dad was one of the best, honestly, in
Yeah.
dirt. Like, let him just try it. Like Kyle Larson could do it. I mean, Blaney's not as good as Kyle Larson as far as over multiple, racing
Yeah.
aspects,
He's
but
still good though.
he can do it.
Yeah.
I ran
Yeah.
IndyCar. I mean, come on iRacing, not in real life, but I mean,
It
if
can't be that different.
I made the Indy 500 for ABN, so come on. I
Yeah.
mean, Blaney can do it. If I can do it, Blaney can do it.
Yeah,
That's bullshit.
I don't know. I think if they put him in a car, I don't think he'd do bad. I don't think he would have done what Larson did, but I think he would
Probably not.
I think he would have been in there, probably 20 to top 10 range somewhere. But
Yeah, Blaney would be. He wouldn't be as aggressive as Larson, which might have helped him when he did pit stops because he may not sped. But I think on the racetrack, he would have been a little more timid than Kyle Larson was for sure. I mean, Kyle Larson
yeah,
was out there battling for the damn pole, and it's like,
yeah.
what the hell? What is he? This is a NASCAR driver. What's he doing out here battling for the fucking pole? Like,
The people in the grandstands qualifying weekend must have thought I was on something magical, dude, because I was screaming my head off the entire time during qualifying.
they're just
Every
like,
lap he ran, I'd be like, yeah, and I'm just
yeah.
like on my feet clapping every time he went by. But yeah, I don't know, man. I really hope he gets to do it again next year, and I haven't heard. He said he wanted to do it again, but I haven't heard anything. So,
Yeah.
well, I hope so.
I'm sure they'll wait till, probably the end of this NASCAR season or maybe even the start of next season before they make that, announcement. But it sounded
Yeah,
like
put it somewhere in silly season.
yeah, it sounded like he was pretty confident that he's going to do it again. And,
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of scary for everybody else because now he has that experience. Like he knows,
yeah,
because obviously, like bringing a NASCAR Cup car down pit road at Indy versus bringing an Indy car down pit road at Indy, holy fuck, it's different. So like,
Yeah, the almost 50-mile-an-hour difference.
yeah, like, he's probably thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna, maybe take it easy, but kind of get in hot, and then the Cup car, I know I can hit these brakes, they're not gonna lock up because it's a fucking big ass car. The next gen has pretty decent brakes, honestly.
Yeah.
So, he knows, okay, I can hit the brakes, I can slow it up. The Indy car, it's like, it weighs nothing. The brakes are very, very good. So when you hit the brakes thinking you're stopping the next gen, yeah, you're just going to lock the tires up and they're just going to slide. And that's exactly what he did.
I think what screwed him up on pit road was he obviously had practice coming down pit road, but I think it was Scott McLaughlin who came in ahead of him, and I think that dirty air messed him up coming on the pit road, which is sadly a thing with those cars on pit road. But I think that's what screwed him. I think he wasn't like this. He just like, even though they're slowing down, they're still at draft. You know what I mean? So I think he was just slipstreaming a little bit, and just the speed overcooked it and locked it up. So
yeah,
I think that's what happened.
Those cars, like, even like you said, even just coming down pit road speed, the air that they pick up off of other cars, it's like crazy. Yeah. Whereas like next gens under under about 100 miles an hour, like you don't really have that air.
Yeah, it's like a road car.
Yeah, it's just nothing. Yeah. Like there's nothing there. Over 150 miles an hour, yeah, you got some aero, push, all that. But IndyCar, it's like, nope. Even at like 40 miles an hour, you're going to gain 10 miles an hour just riding behind somebody else. So, yeah. But he has that experience now, and he knows next year what to do. So,
yeah.
I kind of hope. I hope he does get to do it next year. I hope Blaney gets to do it again. That's I feel like that's just a wild dream at this point. But hey, I can dream. I can hope. I can hope my favorite driver gets to run the Indy 500.
Maybe when Blaney retires in 20 years, he'll do 500.
Bro, I hope Blaney runs for at least 10 more years for sure. Because if he retires,
what, mid-30s?
Yeah, he's mid-30s. He's close to my age, so I'm 31. I think he's 30 or 30. He might be my age, or he may be a year older. I don't know. He's very close to my age, so he's right in his 30s. So
let's take a look. He's 30.
So he is 1 year younger than me. So I'm 31. I'll be 32 in November. So he is pretty much my age.
Yeah, he's there.
Dude, that's wild. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, to not be in a fucking NASCAR.
Yeah.
Like, damn it,
I ask myself the same question every day.
Like, Ryan Blaney is 31. We're basically the same person. You can ask Kinsey. She'll hear interviews of him talking, and she's like, that sounds just like you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons I love Ryan Blaney. Like, we are the same person. Like, in the race car, a lot of people don't get to hear me in team chats. You've heard me before in team chats. It's not fun.
Fortunate and unfortunate.
Yeah, fortunate and unfortunate. But then after the race, I'm like, whatever. I'll go to next week.
Straight to, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fucking owner, and then I have to change the switch. But in the car, I'm just like Ryan Blaney. When he was pissed off at Indy, I was like, that sounds like me. Holy shit. He was like, what the fuck? He gets to line up?
That was, that was a pretty stupid win. But I like to see Larson win there. Glad to see it was a good redemption story, you know what I mean? So I like Larson too, because he's just so good at everything. He wins at everything he races pretty much. So I do enjoy watching Kyle Larson win, but when my driver is on the ass end of a just weird call,
won't
Yeah.
say it was the wrong call, but it was weird.
It was definitely weird.
Yeah, and then I mean, fuck Brad Keselowski. Like you knew you were gonna run out of fuel, you motherfucker, and you wait till the exit of 4, and you're like, oh, yep, I'm out. It's like,
It's so dumb.
what the hell, dude?
I feel like literally, like if I had to guess, it would have been Keselowski to do something like that. I don't know why. He just got that weird mentality where he's just gonna like.
He
"All right,
does.
well, if I'm screwed, you're screwed. with
Yeah,
me,"
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Like, oh, I know I can't make it, but I'm gonna wait till turn 4, and then I'm gonna pull off, and then give Larson the inside. So Blaney, sorry, you're fucked. Because Blaney picked the outside because he knew Keselowski probably wasn't gonna make it to the end, but he was thinking he was gonna at least take the green flag, and then maybe run out on the restart. And Brad's like, nope, can't do it. I'm going down pit road right here as they're going green. And then Blaney didn't know if he was the restart car, and Larson didn't really know if he was a restart car. It was a whole fucking clusterfuck.
When that Nashville race happened when Larson ran out of fuel, I thought Kyle Busch spun him. I was about to be an absolute menace to everybody who was a Kyle Busch fan that day, man. But no, Kyle Larson basically did the same thing. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it is what it is. But all right, I'm gonna ask you a question. I gotta pee because I've been drinking fucking since the Xfinity race started tonight. But I'll ask you the question, let you answer it, and then hopefully I'll be back before you finish your answer. But if not, you can pick your nose.
I'll
or
try
something.
and stretch it out.
Yeah. All right, so tell us about how you found ARCS and the whole story of how you got involved in ARCS.
All right. Well, that's a good question. This one's a little long. So, I eventually, so the way I started on Forza Motorsport 7, and then I met a couple people who had iRacing on Forza Motorsport 7, and I didn't really know what it was. And I read more and more into it, and I ended up looking into it, and I'm like, all right, well, I got to at least buy a computer. So I bought a computer, and I had a G29 that I used on Forza, so I used that for iRacing when I first got it. And then I started doing just official races here and there with a couple buddies and working my way up to a couple licenses. And then I got introduced to hosted races, which I didn't know were a thing. And then from there, kind of took off pretty quick. I think it was maybe April or May of the time. And I saw a hosted IndyCar session, and I believe it was either SKB or Alex Simkowski that had hosted the session. And I joined up.
Uh-oh. We may have lost him here. Tornado may have hit over there in Chicago. Hello. Got a copy. Well, at least you can see his frosted tips. Or his frosted head, at least. I guess it ain't frosted tips. It's a whole frosted head there. Well, things you hate to see on a live podcast is your guest losing all connection. And we'll give him a couple minutes here, see what happens. Maybe he'll try and leave and come back. We'll give him a few minutes here. Hell, if not, we'll... Yep, there he went. He's out. See if he comes back in here. Give him a few minutes. Yeah, hey, there we go.
For whatever reason, my internet decided that was time to be okay. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, I, I think we can hear you. I don't know. You're just still a little choppy, but close the bad windows on your. Oh yeah, Kent's saying you got to close out your bad windows on your computer. Oh, he's frozen again. Well, Dale, while we wait for Reynolds, we'll talk about my online dynasty for college football 25. I'm the Kennesaw State Owls. I'm 7-3, I believe. Maybe 8. Actually, I might be 8-3 now. Wonderful season so far. I'm 2-0 against users. Beat Smale by 20. He was Western Michigan. Beat James Hagan last night before TNT. Played him. Got that W. I still need to actually play my game for this week. I think I have Florida International, so that'll be a fun game. So yeah, Kennesaw State's bowl eligible. Not in the playoffs, obviously, because we're 8-3. Lost a bunch of games, but we lost 3 games, if for any of those that can count. But yeah, I think Profits ranked. I think Jonathan Adams is Coastal Carolina's ranked. Wyoming, I believe that's Kevin Young is ranked. Yeah, so we got a pretty good dynasty going on in Xbox. I know PlayStation users unfortunately can't play with us. Hopefully they'll get that fixed. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. So we'll give it a few more minutes and see what happens. If you can't get back in, we might call it an early night. I mean, we'll see what happens. But hey, y'all go grab a drink, grab a snack. Hell, I guess y'all can see me. You can hear me. He's frozen on the screen right now, so I'm guessing his internet said not tonight. But like I said, that's okay. We'll make that adjustment as we need to. For anybody in the chat, I've been looking at the weather for Michigan. Michigan International Speedway, obviously, going to that race on Sunday. So, y'all let me know what y'all's weather app says. Not looking great, but we'll see what the weather says. Hopefully, later on.
I'm hoping it's working if I'm bad.
All right, he's back.
Dude, when was the last time you've seen me have an internet problem, Brian?
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Jesus.
That's all right.
Of course it happens.
Hey, I was just talking about my NCAA 25 online dynasty while you were gone, so
yeah.
Everybody still was entertained.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't touched the game like I bought it. I haven't touched it since like I bought it. I just suck. I don't know why. I can't. Whatever the switch was from Madden to that, I just suck. I don't know, but I've just been letting it sim the games, and I haven't even had time to play it. Basically, I've been working my ass off all summer. So
you're on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
So you're on the PS5 side, so I don't see you, but we have a pretty good. I think we have like 12 or 13 on Xbox. Like we have.
It's a good amount.
Yeah, we have a pretty good amount. I started as Kennesaw State, probably the worst team. on
I
college
think it
football.
is.
I think other than Ball State, Jack Mulkey has me beat. Ball State, I think, is a 71 overall. I think they're the worst. I think Kennesaw State's the second worst. They're like a 72 or a 73 overall. And I'm 8-3 right now, so it's a very good season. John Smeal, I like to call him out just because it's hilarious. And Smeal, if you're listening or you listen to this tomorrow, sorry, but I know I'll never forget the week before I was supposed to play Smeal. He lost to number 1 Ohio State by 1 point. It was like 38-39 he lost. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I'm about to get cooked. Like, I'm about to get fucking cooked. So we advanced the week, and Smeal's like, yeah, I play you this week. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Let's we'll play it this night. So we get it set up, and I'm like, in the back, like, honestly, I was nervous. I was like, God damn, he's going to fucking wax my ass. Tell me how I beat him 48-28 with Kennesaw State. And I was like, Smeal, how are you cheating? I want to know how you're cheating, because there ain't no way you lose by 1 to Ohio State and then let Kennesaw State beat you by 20, bro. No way. And then
that's how I feel in this game. I like the best teams I'll go against, and I beat them, and then the worst teams I go against them, I throw 5 picks in 1 quarter. Like, what is going on?
Then last night before TNT, I played John Hagan's brother, James Hagan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's Sam Houston State, which they're a 76 overall. Kennesaw State's a 72 or 73. And so the week before that, on Friday night, I actually didn't have a guest, so I live streamed Kevin Feemster and James Hagan. So Feemster was Louisiana Tech. Obviously, Hagan was Sam Houston. I actually broadcasted that game, which was it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a blast. I got to interview both of them after the game. It was a lot of fun, but he kept it really close against Feemster, like throughout like 3 quarters. Then he kind of just gave up. He just started throwing picks. He just kind of, was missing tackles just for the hell of it. And I was like, holy shit, this dude might beat me because I have to play him next week. So we get to the next week, and he's like, all right, when do you want to play? And I'm like, well, I can play Thursday before TNT starts, so like 7 p.m. He's like, all right. So I get, we were playing. It was a close game. I think I ended up beating them 26-14, but I was on my heels the entire time.
Yeah.
So this week I have Florida International CPU team, which honestly, I'd rather play a user than CPU. CPU waxes my ass on defense every fucking time. Like, I can't do shit. Like, it's like Joe Burrow's out there fucking throwing the football. Like, it's fucking wild. But
I just don't know what changed. I am terrible. Like, I wasn't great at Madden, but oh my god, I'm terrible at this. Like, you might beat me by 100 if we played right.
Yeah, well, so I have the CPU this week, and then next week I have Kevin Feemster. So obviously, like, when I saw James Hagan play Feemster, because keep in mind, James Hagan lost to UCF, the University of Central Florida, Golden Knights, 100-21. He lost by 80, my folks. He lost by 80. So I'm thinking, no. I can't. John Hagan's brother, James Hagan, is in our college football dynasty. So it's James Hagan. I promise. It's not. I'm not mispronouncing John Hagan's name. John Hagan is Army in our dynasty, and he lost to Prophet. Holy shit, Prophet could have put 100 on John Hagan, and it was so funny because
Prophet's a cheater too.
Dude,
He's so
Prophet is very good. I'm I am not as good as Prophet. I'm probably on the same level as Feemster. Me and Feemster are probably the same level as far as competitiveness. College football, I have a little bit better understanding of what's going on just because I've watched college football since I was 4 years old. But when I saw the game, Dustin Painter actually told me about it. And then Withers afterwards was like, you know what? I was like, dude, you beat him 71-21. Like, he was like, yeah. And I wanted to put 100 on him. And I was like, why? Like, what do you mean? He was like, that motherfucker beats me on the racetrack every goddamn week. He was like,
Yeah.
he was like, it was nice to get a little bit of revenge. And I was like, that's my boy right there. Like, hell yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Like, I hope I get,
yeah,
I hope I get Army in the bowl game. I want to put up a fucking 100 on you. Like, you know, it's nice. It's nice for us people. You know, we race against all these people all the time, and then we get to go to something different. And it's like, hey, now you're in my wheelhouse, buddy. You know, saving tires ain't going to help you on 4th and 14. You know, like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like,
there was a before I was in ARCS, there was an F1 league I was in, and this dude, I mean, literally was like top 100 every leaderboard list you looked at on F1 2020.
Yeah.
And I forgot what show game it was, but it was on Xbox Game Pass. And I told him, I'm like, we should play sometime. He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, I'll beat you with that too. And I was so ready, dude. I probably beat him like 20. It was great. But, oh my God. Like, I know exactly how he feels. It's just, it's good to get something over on somebody who wants to hear a different discipline. You know what I mean?
It really is. That's why, like, no offense to you, but that's why I had so much fun beating the shit out of you in Madden. Like, you know, you waxed my ass on the fucking racetrack. You know what, bitch? I'm gonna throw four touchdowns on your ass.
Watch this.
Yeah, watch this, motherfucker. Yeah. You might beat me by 2 laps on Sunday, but let me get you on Monday in Madden, you know?
Yeah. Watch my super team, Tyreek Hill and Puka Nacua drop 40 on you.
Yeah. Watch Stetson Bennett drop this dime on your ass, you know?
Oh, my. All right. Speaking of Stetson Bennett.
Hey.
Oh, Christ.
Hey, he was
that was bad.
He was a cheat code in Madden, for me at least. I mean.
Yeah. I don't know how much for the Rams, but that was bad, dude.
Look, he threw 4 interceptions in the preseason game, but he did throw the winning touchdown. So, you know, it cancels it out.
He did. But that was.
He hasn't had
much playing time, but
he had a shot of Patron, and then he was like, "I'm good. Let's go. We got this. Touchdown right here, Tutty. Let's go."
Still had a keys in his pocket too. He wasn't letting go of that bad boys.
No, yeah, he knows better. He's like, yeah, I ain't rushing against these 6'5" defensive linemen that are 350 pounds but can run 4.4 40s. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay in the pocket. No, thank you. Yeah. But
yeah, I actually got snapped if he ran out.
But I mean, I think he will be a very good backup quarterback in the NFL. He's not going to be a starter.
What was the guy on the Chiefs for the longest time? I forgot his name. He was there for like 30 years, dude, or something ridiculous. I forgot his name.
Trent Dilfer?
It's Seth's watch, and he'll 100% know it.
I'm sure. I'm sure he does. But Andy Dalton.
He retired.
I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Who gives a shit? Chad. Dale said Chad Henne.
Oh, maybe that's who it was. Yeah, I think that's
maybe
who it was.
Yeah.
But
fucking Alex.
Maybe him.
Where is Alex Smith playing football right now? Is he still around? That dude was the fucking most mid quarterback I've ever seen in my life to make $100 million a year.
That him and Teddy Bridgewater, dude. I can't remember a single Teddy Bridgewater highlight ever.
You hate to see it. You really do.
But he was on every team. He was on the Vikings at one point. He was on the
Yeah.
Dolphins, the
Yeah.
Broncos.
He,
Like
he was everywhere.
yeah,
Like,
I feel
yeah.
like Zach Wilson might be the same way here in a couple of years.
Oh yeah. He's gonna fuck the wrong mom and he's gonna end up in Baltimore or something.
Yeah, really. Speaking of quarterbacks, fuck Geno Smith. I can't wait to remember that guy.
Yeah. He's
I hate him.
he's not great. He's not
Top
bad,
five.
but he's
We got
not
a
great.
top 5 wide receiver core, and he still can't throw the ball.
I mean, yeah, you'll have that on the big jobs. You really will.
It's brutal.
So we really didn't hear your story of how you found ARCS because you lagged out. You turned into Noah Belleville mid conversation
Yeah.
and lagged out. So
DDoS, man.
so start over with that story and tell us how you found ARCS.
So, the whole thing was I started on Forza 7, had a couple buddies who did iRacing, and I had no clue what it was at the time. I saw, like, iRacing highlights, but I thought it was NR 2003, you know what I mean? So, I look at it, I'm like, oh, man, this looks cool, but I don't have a PC. So, I got a PC, started playing first-person shooters with my buddies, and I'm like, all right, I'm pulling the trigger. So, I bought it, and I bought a bunch of cars and tracks for my birthday and whatnot. And, started from there, did a bunch of host races or official races before I joined any leagues or anything like that. And then I started doing a bunch of hosted races because I didn't know what they were. And then I started doing those. And at one point, I was staying up late with my friends. We saw IndyCar at Indy. And we're like, all right, you know what, we'll do it. And I think it was hosted by Alex or SKB at the time. And as we are doing this, you know, they're plastered, we're all laughing and whatnot. And I was with Miles Nelson at the time, and I'll never forget it. This is my first race in ARC, and Miles Nelson comes out of turn 2 and Indy full speed trying to this lap back and just shunts it right over the top of Sinkowski's car. And I have the clip somewhere on my computer. It's so good. But yeah, so that was that, and then the finish came down to me and Sinkowski at the line by like 1,000th of a second or something like that. And from then on, they told me, like, hey, we're running this Indy 500. You should come join us. Sure. And duked it out with Alex and Mulkey on the last lap. And ended up winning because Mulkey can't drive and took out Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then went all downhill from there in life.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I wish I would have never did this shit.
But no, seriously, that it's been some of the best nights of my life that I can remember. I probably haven't laughed as hard in real life sometimes with you guys
Yeah.
that I can remember. There's been nights where guys are sleeping and we'll start saying their names and guys will start talking back in their sleep and stuff. And, you know, it's great.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun. It's something that and I kind of miss that too, just because, you know, when we first started, obviously we started on Xbox, you know, then kind of migrated to iRacing because obviously the console side of things, once Heat 5 kind of died, and then, you know, the new NASCAR 21 Ignition was the worst fucking game I've ever fucking played in my life. I mean, yeah, I bought it. I remember buying it and I'm thinking, it can't be that bad. You know, I'm thinking like, oh, everybody says it's bad. It can't be that bad. So I bought it and I was like, oh my God, it's that bad. It's awful. Like the online, the you know, the career mode was okay. Like it was whatever, but like the online play was
it was barely functional.
It was like cautions would come out randomly, then everybody would pit with like 2 to go, so you could just stay out and like win the race. And it's like, this is not realistic. Like they had plenty of fuel. Like why did they pit? Like what? Yeah. I'm running a 5% length race. Why did they pit? There's 5 to go. Like, you know, this is, so it was like, okay, I won, but like, did I feel like Austin Dillon, like, you know, I won, but did I really win? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that game was just, and then it was like,
Yeah.
even online, it was like, you couldn't do shit. You couldn't set up a private lobby. It was just, you had to just go into a lobby, and yes, you could race other people, but you had no control over who was in there, what you could do. Like, at least Heat 5, you could set up a private lobby, you could get people in there, you could set the settings, you could do everything to create a league, and that's how we ran. That's how we did it the first 2 years that we did it on Xbox. And then NASCAR 21 Ignition came out, and it was just like, yeah, we don't really give a fuck about what y'all want. You can run super speedways or you can run short tracks. I mean, it's like, well, can we pick the track? No. Can we, like, pick who's in there? No. It's like, well, how are we going to run a league then? Yeah, like, so luckily,
like they got rid of their entire core fan base.
Oh yeah, they were like, yeah, fuck y'all, we don't care. And obviously Heat 5 servers were up for a long time, even after the 21 Ignition came out. But I think now the servers are actually dead. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I think they shut them off.
Yeah, I don't think you can do anything on Heat 4 or Heat 5. I could be wrong. I don't know. They may have turned it back on, but last I heard they were dead. Like, you can't do shit. So
the big group I always raced with, I got bored of Heat 4 during COVID or whatnot, so I didn't know what I'm looking for group posts was at the time. So I started joining those on Heat 4, and then I moved to Forza just to see what was going on. And I joined a race. This is how I got into the group I started with. It was a race at Daytona. It was, what is the Ford truck they sell it in Australia? Oh, the Utes, Ford Ute, the pickup truck, and they put a little stock carburetor wing on the back fit, and they put a power grip handicap on it. And there was a race at Daytona, and they said it was their first league race of the season or whatever for Forza. And I joined it. Started from there, dude, and those cars were so much fun.
Yeah,
it was genuinely the black. It was such a great group, and it was awesome. But it was so funny. That Forza 7, we never moved from Forza 7 after we started figuring out how to tune cars to work for, like, they would NASCARs. You know what I mean? We tuned them to be oval cars, and yeah, as soon as we figured out how to do it on one car, that's all we would run for like a solid month straight. Yeah. So, yeah, it was fun.
That was probably my first introduction to broadcasting was on Forza. I don't know the exact game. It might have been Forza 7, I'm assuming. Okay. But you remember, I don't know if you were involved in it, because I know that Stitch and SKD were involved. Rick James actually did a endurance race on Forza at Daytona Road Course, and I actually broadcasted some of that race. I think I took like the graveyard shift. I was like broadcasting at like 2 a.m. But I remember that, and I was like, thinking back, I'm like, damn, that's kind of the first real broadcast I ever did in my life. Was on Forza 7 with all these dumbasses at 2 a.m. running around Daytona Road Course. I don't even know what car we were running. I have no idea. I don't remember, but like
the group I remember doing that was Tora, if you remember that whole group.
Yeah.
But that's all I remember that would run endurance races like that.
Well, Rick James did one with, I think Stitch and SKD were involved and kind of helping getting it going. And then Rick kind of did the broadcast of it. And I remember being involved in it. And I just remember, like, it was like 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I'm so tired. And there's nothing going on this racetrack. Like, what am I supposed to talk about for the next 2 hours?
Yeah.
Or 3 hours. I think it was 4 hours. I think I had like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. And I'm like, what am I supposed to talk about for the next 4 hours? Yeah. Like, it's 2:00 in the morning. Nobody's watching this. Like, we had one viewer, I think, and it was probably me. And like, I'm like, no one's watching this. Like, can I just take a nap while all these people are running around the damn track? Like, fuck this shit. I don't want to do this.
And I forgot what endurance race it was, but um, that was like the first time I did a stint like that. It was from 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m.
That's
And I
tough.
think Jeremy was in the car after me, and I think I ran like an extra hour. I think Jeremy didn't wake up, and man, you freak yourself out at those hours, and I'll be like, I'll hit a curb wrong or something, my wheel will vibrate real loud. I think I'll wake up somebody. You think you hear footsteps down the hallway. You think there's fucking police outside and shit. It gets weird at those hours for me. I can't function. So I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, and I ran a Daytona 24 race where Alex Simkowski was supposed to take over for me, and that motherfucker didn't wake up till fucking 1 p.m. Like,
yeah.
And I was supposed to, I think I was going to run like 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. So
was that the Katie race?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah.
It was definitely a Daytona 24 hour. And I don't remember who else was on my team. I'd have to go back and look, but I know Stitch was on the team. And I told,
think it was you, Jeremy.
Was it Cody?
Or Cody? Maybe that's who it was. Yeah.
I think Cody was with us, or it might have been.
Definitely there. Cody was there.
Yeah, I thought Cody was there because Cody took like, I think Cody took like 10 p.m. to like 1 a.m. and then I was gonna get in the car at like 1 or 2, so I drove the car from like 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m. and then Stitch was supposed to get in the car at like 6 or 7. Well, he went to the fucking bar and got fucking drunk and then passed out. And so I'm still in the car at like 9 a.m. and I'm like, I need someone to help me. Like, I have been in this car for like 8 hours and I'm not fast. So this is not good. Like, and Stitch just still said nothing. I think Cody finally woke up at like 8 and was like, hey, are you good? And I'm like, no, Stitch never showed up. Like, I need out of this car. Like, I'm tired. Yeah. I don't want to race anymore. I'm seeing double. And so Cody got in the car. And then I told Cody, I was like, if Stitch doesn't come before, because I think our race ended at 2 p.m. And I was like, if Stitch doesn't get in the car by like 1, we're fucked. Because he's going to get disqualified. And we're not going to finish the race because we're going to get disqualified. And finally at like 12, Stitch was like, oh, sorry. I'm awake now. It's like, get in the car, you motherfucker. Like, God damn it. Like, go run your damn minimum laps.
Yeah, the year that we won, I knew that I think people in ARCS had won before, but like an ARCS team had never won something before. So I kind of said, fuck everybody. I'm putting a super team together. And I forgot who it was. It was me, Josh, and Jeremy, and I forgot who else. I think it was maybe Cody and Seth or something. I don't know. I mean, you might have been there. I forgot who it was.
Yeah. I won with Jacob.
That's the other team.
Jacob Delgado. And
was it Jacob Delgado?
Yeah, it was Jacob Delgado, and
it was the other Matt kid. I forgot his name.
Matthew Leiter.
Miles Nelson.
Nelson. Yep. And we won the shit out of that motherfucking thing.
I forgot the other kid. I forgot his real name. Jacob Oliver. He was also on the team, yeah.
And they carried me. Let's be straight. I didn't win that race. They won that race. I turned my minimum laps. I got the fuck up out of that car, and
Jacob Oliver. He races. He was part of the whole Forza group I was with, and so was Miles Nelson. But Jacob Oliver, he races karts now in real life. I forgot what division or what CC he runs, but from what I've seen, he's getting better and better. So it's good to see that at least somebody out of the group is really connecting out of it.
Yeah, for sure. It's always cool to see people run in real life. I mean, the simulation, A lot of us don't get that opportunity to race a real race car. Cody did. Cody had that opportunity, but he sold it for a redneck pool. Then he sold the redneck pool for a hot tub. And then I think the hot tub's still there. I don't know. Cody, you'll have to let me know. But yeah, the race car is no longer. He actually had a Snapchat memory a couple days, or maybe it might have been a couple weeks ago. And he took a Snapchat of him in the race car, and he's filming it. And he's going down his driveway, and obviously we live in Georgia, so our driveways are like 1.5 miles long.
I think I saw this.
Did you see it? Yeah, I think
yeah.
he shared it to maybe ARCS Snapchat. But anyway, he's in that race car, and he's not even moving hardly, and that thing is whoa, 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 and then he hits it, and it's like whoa, and I'm like, why did you get for a pool? Like, bro, I will dig you a hole in the ground. Like, why did you get rid?
I'll put a tarp there.
Yeah, I'll put a damn tarp there. I'll get some damn chlorine tablets. Hell, my dad's got a pool. Y'all can come swim in his pool. Like, what are you doing? But I know he regrets it. Not regrets it. I mean, his kids had a good time in the pool, but I know he's like, damn, I wish I still had that race car, because that race car was badass. I mean, he put a lot of money in it, and obviously we're a little bit privileged because my grandfather has a machine shop. He builds engines. My grandfather is very, very good at building, race car engines that are very competitive. So we had a lot of power under the hood, and when Cody went and raced, he was damn good. I mean, Tracy, a lot of people don't know, but Tracy was one of the best race car drivers that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he was so good that he would win the race, and second, third, fourth would all protest him. And so Tracy and me and Cody, we were, young at the time, but we'd be there, because we were trying to help. We were kids. We enjoyed it. We loved racing. And we'd be there till 2 a.m. because the tech guys would be tearing his motor apart, trying to find something wrong with it, and they never could find anything wrong with it because we were legal where it counted. We may have been illegal in certain places, but we knew. My grandfather was so smart that he knew, I know I can get away with this because when they tear it down, they're not going to check for it. And we were just so good. So it would be 2 a.m. and they'd be like, sorry, second, third, and fourth, we didn't find anything. Tracy's still the winner. And they would do that week after week after week. And finally he was just like, I don't want to do this shit. Like, y'all just going to rip my motor apart every week and then I have to put it back together? Like, this is not fun. Like, fuck this shit.
When I was fortunate enough to test in microspin just a month ago, and I was talking to him on the 4th of July, and he was telling me some of the ways he cheated, and he said that everybody uses it this way, so I'm gonna say it, but I guess that what they do is they take a drill or something, and in the structure of the cage where it's like solid metal, they'll drill it out with the drill, and they'll just cover it with Bondo and put metallic spray paint over it. So when they come by with a magnet, then they stick it against the metal just to make sure it's not the entire car is not Bondo. You know what I mean? They don't stick, and that's how they save weight apparently. So.
Yeah, I'll never forget my dad and my uncle Tracy. We used to go, to Pigeon Forge when I was a kid, and we would do go-karts, and back then go-karts weren't quite the same as now. They didn't have the same safety and shit like that. So when you would mash the pedal, the gas pedal, there was a link. There was a cable that ran from the gas pedal back to the carburetor, because most go-karts, when you get on a go-kart ride or whatever, and your local amusement park or fair or whatever. The motor's in the back. So there's a cable running from the gas pedal back to the carburetor to the engine. Well, a long time ago, they didn't have these covers like they have now. So you could see that cable from the gas pedal back to the carburetor. My Uncle Tracy would find that cable and he'd reach down and he'd pull that cable up. And when he pulled that cable up, it pulled the cable on the carburetor and the carburetor would be running wide ass open. So everybody else would be they'd be hitting the gas and that cable would just be, that cable only had so much movement.
Just a little.
Yeah. So when he would mash the gas, he'd reach down to that cable and I wish I had videos, dude. I wish somebody was taking videos because my Uncle Tracy and my dad, everybody else is just racing like this. They're like, no. My dad and my Uncle Tracy, they're like this. They got one hand on the wheel, the other hand's down here on the cable, pulling the cable up so the carburetor's wide ass fucking open. So they're racing like this. Good. And the car and they're just passing everybody. And I'm like, that is like, how do you find a way to cheat in go-karts? Like, bro, what? Like, but that's so good. That's just how they're competitive, and they knew that they were smart enough to know, hey, I see this cable, and I know that cable is going to the carburetor, and I can see it. And when I mash the pedal, it's only going so far. If I grab it and pull it, that carburetor is full fucking song, my boy. Yeah. So it just shows that no matter what you're doing, if you're smart enough, you'll find a way to cheat or figure out a way to beat everybody else. That's just how it is.
All of the go-kart places around here that I can think of are all electric now. And honestly, to me, it does make it more fun because these guys, once there's like a league night or whatever, they'll fucking just let them rip it, dude. They'll fucking turn it up to the max. And you'll see guys coming out of the corner like their SVG halfway sideways out of the corner. And just that torque makes it so much fun, man. But I don't know. There's obviously, it's not as fun. You don't have an engine behind you, but it makes it so fun just sliding out of those corners.
We did go-karts when we went to Darlington because we pretty much stayed in Myrtle Beach. So there was I don't think it was NASCAR, but it was just a go-kart track. And I think we had 10 or 11 of us there that year. And we all went out there and we were bumping, beating, and banging, and people were like blowing their whistles. They're like, "Stop, stop!" And we're like, "Don't worry, we're real race car drivers. We know what we're doing, And they're like, "We don't give a fuck what y'all." No, it's like you're breaking our fucking go karts. Like, stop it. So, hopefully, we can find a go kart track this year. I think we're going golfing Friday. For Atlanta, so
I'm so bad at golf, Ryan.
I'm awful.
I vowed last year to never go golfing again. I actually can't go. I'm that bad.
I went once. I've been golfing one time. I went with Kenzie's dad and her brother and one of his friends, and I honestly wasn't terrible. So I'm kind of excited to go golfing. When we get down there. I gotta rent clubs because I don't have any clubs that I can take down there. But yeah, I'm excited to go golfing. I'm not good, but I'm decent. Like I can at least have fun while doing it. As long as I can drink some beers while I'm doing it, I'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You guys will be there probably by the time I land, hopefully, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think our tee time is like 2 p.m. on Friday, so.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, you might be at the house.
So maybe when I get back, I'll get back to the house about the same time you guys are leaving. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
I'll wait for you guys to go down.
Yeah, we're going to go to the golf course, and you'll just be getting there, so we'll I mean, if you don't want to play golf, you can still come and hang out with us. You can be on a golf cart or something. Fuck, you can come hang out with us, and I know you can't legally drink, but
I'm 21, Ryan. I don't know what you're talking about.
whatever. Well, I will say Jeremy is sending the A Squared trophy to my dad's house. And so I got to figure, first of all, I got to figure out a way to get to my dad's house from the airport. Hopefully somebody maybe can drive me there, because I would love to drive my Mustang to the house so everybody can see my Mustang, and I can, do some burnouts there, on the street, but also get your trophy so you can take some drinks out of the trophy, because that is a tradition that we have done for 4 years in a row, and this will be our 5th year, going in our 5th year. So we will get that trophy, and we will put some type. Don't let Dustin get to it, because he's gonna put some moonshine in that sumbitch, and you'll be fucked up. But we'll put something in there for you, even if it's some Mike's Hard Lemonade,
some apple juice.
Apple juice, some milk. We'll put something in there for you to drink out of, and then
milk.
And
that trophy would smell rancid if you got
it. Probably already does smell rancid, because
it can't be that bad. I mean, you guys have had what, beer and liquor in there? It can't be.
Yes, we've had beer and liquor. Seth's had it twice. Jeremy got it in Darlington. You'll get it in Atlanta, and then whoever wins this year will get it after you. I feel like, was there someone after you, or you were the last one, right?
I'm the last one.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just, I get confused. So you'll get to take the trophy, take it back home, enjoy it, and then our next corporate retreat, hopefully whoever
I'll
wins.
have to stuff it in a suitcase and bring it.
Yeah, just don't break it. I paid like $39.95 for that thing. $40. That's probably why the bottom seal has worn out on that thing, because they're like, don't put liquid in this, and I'm like, it's a cup. I'm gonna put liquid in it. You should have done better. I don't know.
I'll shine it up and
put some wax on it or something. I'll never forget when we were at Darlington. Jeremy he drank something out of it. I think it was moonshine, but anyway, we had a bottle of champagne, and Jeremy, there's a video. I think I still have it on my phone. There's a video of Jeremy turning the champagne up like this, and everybody was like, no, don't do that. And Jeremy turns it back down, and when he does, he goes and just spits champagne out of his mouth, because when you turn champagne upside down, all the fizz, you can't swallow it. So he and everybody's like, no, and then he turns it back down and he goes and just spits champagne all over the fucking porch of the house that we're at. Like, I mean, dude, we have had so many good times on these trips, and that's why I'm excited for this year, because a lot of new people. A lot of new people coming, and we get to watch a race. We get to, I know you're not playing golf with us, but we get to go play golf. I'm sure some people will want to go watch the race on Saturday. I usually...
Yeah, I thought something happened with that. I don't know what happened with
that. I usually don't go on Saturday just because I like to save myself for Sunday. Like, I can't handle 2 races in a row with that much drinking, so that's how I did it. Like, when we went to Talladega, everybody went to the damn ARCA and Xfinity race on Saturday, and I was like, I'm staying home. And literally, we had 2 people. Toby took an Uber from the racetrack back to our house in Birmingham. It was like $95 he paid, and then he gets back and he's like, oh, I just spent $90 on that Uber. And I'm like, I told you shouldn't have went, dude. Like, and then Davy Jones got lost in the infield. He thought he found Ricky Rudd, but it was just a car. It was Ricky Rudd's car. And he was like, Ricky Rudd's down there. Oh, yeah. And so he pulls the thing on the bus to tell it to stop. And the bus driver's like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? And we had a couple other people there, obviously, that were like, Davey, shut the fuck up. Like, that's not Ricky Rudd. So Davey ends up passed out in the infield somewhere. The cops end up calling, I think, Lurkin or somebody. It was like, hey, your buddy's down here, like, outside of the bathrooms. He's passed out. So they had to go and get Davey. Stitch ended up sleeping in his car that night. It was, yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, just get ready, because it might get wild.
I hope it does. It always makes the experience crazier for the better, you know?
Yeah,
It's,
it'll be fun, for sure. It'll be fun.
No, really.
All right, I got to pee again. Tell everybody what equipment you have while I go piss for the second time in 30 minutes.
All right. Well, here we go. I got a Fanatec. I don't even know what you would call this. I guess the Formula V2 rim on a DD8 base. So it's the cheaper version of the CSL or whatever it is. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, so I have that, and my broke ass can't afford any pedals, so I still have a Logitech from Forza. I've had this Logitech for almost 6 years now, and I still use the pedals from it, and I just leave the base of it on the ground next to my rig, and and then I have I guess, what is this, a 36-inch curved monitor, 166 hertz. And then I just got that recently, but I feel like it does help at least a little bit. And obviously I have my computer, 1660 Super, 16 gigs to RAM, big cooling fan on it. It's a pre-built, so not much you can do, but it gets the job done. You know what I mean?
That's all that matters, getting the job done. Yeah, that's.
I'm scared to move away from these pedals. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever move away from them.
I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it if you do, because I kind of thought the same thing, but then I got what are these? They're load cell something. I don't know. They were like $300, but they're not like Fanatec. They're not any kind of name brand, but it's a TLCM something pedals.
Oh, Thrustmasters.
Yeah, Thrustmaster TLCMs. Yeah. They are amazing. I mean, I have been using them for almost 2 years now, and it's the load cell on the brake pedal is all damn near perfect. The clutch and the gas pedal feel really, really good. I mean, I like them. Obviously, some people have better pedals, and it has some benefits here and there, but the Logitech pedals are awful to me. Like when I went from Logitech to these Thrustmaster TLCMs, I was like, holy shit, how did I do anything with these shit ass pedals? Like, I feel like pedals, and like especially when it comes to like brake and clutch, I feel like that's more important than a wheel sometimes. Like, I feel like that did more for me than, I mean, I have a Fanatec DD2, with a NASCAR rim. That helped me a little bit, but the pedals probably did more for me than the direct drive wheel did. But that's just me. I mean, everybody has different opinions.
I've heard everybody say that the pedals help, though.
Mm-hmm.
I've just never had the balls to do it. So
yeah, you should just do it. Just do it.
I know.
Just do it.
I'm broke, so.
Welcome to America. We're all broke.
Yeah.
I literally had.
Sure.
No, dude. So next Thursday, I have to go back to Georgia because my sister's getting married. So I go back to Georgia on Thursday. I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then Monday we fly back. And then literally not 2 weeks later, I have to fly back to Georgia again for the Atlanta race. And I'm like, I told my sister, I was like, couldn't you have like postponed this a year? Like, can you get married next
Yeah.
year? Like, this is not helping my vibe here. Like, you're spending all my money. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't tell her not to get married. I mean, I guess that's not okay. But all right, tell us about your favorite win in ARCS
Oh,
and your biggest like disappointment in ARCS.
there's a lot of those.
Oh, well, yeah,
Um,
me too.
I don't know. Probably the Phoenix championship win. Like, it was pretty Mickey, but it was it made it all worth it, you know what I mean? The format is the way the format is, but um that was it was good, you know what I mean? That it was a 9-win season. It was good to see it pay off, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
and it wasn't like that there was nobody chasing me at the end. I think Seth was in 2 or 3 seconds up in there at the end. So
yeah.
I still had some work to do, but I don't think I breathed the last 20 laps that race. So, but biggest disappointment. I, it's just because it's fresh in my mind. I think the Richmond race, I led 199 laps, man, and I got wrecked on the last one.
Yeah, that was tough.
I almost had a clean sweep, man, and I think that probably would have been my favorite win in ARCS if I actually swept that race. But yeah, man, that was a hard one to lose, especially in the way that I did. So
Yeah. That one was tough for sure. I remember going over that race after the race and
I think that was maybe 2 weeks removed from Chicago.
yeah. You were involved
So
in that one too. So
yeah, that was interesting.
yeah,
I was yeah.
I think everybody on the internet was like, "Well, you get what you deserve, you dumb prick." You know?
Yeah,
Hey, what?
yeah,
It's fake racing. I mean, for fuck's sake,
yeah, yeah.
we're not tearing up real race cars. Like,
No,
that's what I told Kinsey. I was like, because I showed her the finish at Richmond, the real Richmond, where Austin Dillon just dumped Joey Logano and then turned Denny Hamlin.
Cool.
And even, she is a NASCAR fan because of me, but she doesn't really fully understand everything to an extent. I'm not saying she doesn't, but there's just watching it for as many years as we've watched it, we know things that other people don't. And she was like, even her watching it, she was like, that was shitty. And I was like, yeah, that was super shitty. Like, yeah, that was absolutely shitty. But that's what I told her. I was like, you go to like where Cody used to race, where my uncle Tracy used to race at Winterboro Speedway. If you do something like that, you're going to get your face beat in with a baseball bat because
you're not making it out there.
Because that's what I told Kinsey. It was like, Austin Dillon is not paying for that race car. He does not give two shits if he wrecks his car. Denny Hamlin is not paying for that race car. He might be paying for Bubba's because it's 2311, but he's not paying for the 11. Joey Logano's not paying for the 22. Yes, they're upset, but they're not paying for those race cars. You go to Winterboro Speedway on a Saturday night and somebody does that shit to you, those people are working 50 to 60 hours a week, and anything they have extra is going towards that race car. And if someone wrecks them, they are going to whoop your fucking ass. And I wish NASCAR was still like that. I wish that, when Austin Dillon wrecked Denny Hamlin, and look, I'm not a huge fan of Denny Hamlin or Joey Logano. I know Joey Logano is on Penske. obviously y'all know I'm a huge Ryan Blaney fan. Ryan Blaney is not the same person as Joey Logano. They are two complete different race car drivers. I don't like Joey Logano. But Austin Dillon wrecked both of them. If they had to pay for those race cars, you bet your ass Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin would go down there and fucking whoop some ass. But instead they just revved their engines against the crew member. Like, the crew member wasn't driving the car. Why are you revving the engine against the crew member? Didn't do shit. They just changed the tire. Leave them out of it. They didn't.
I'm a firm believer that if Austin Dillon did not have that child in his hands, that night would have been much different in victory lane and right there at the start finish line. I think Austin Dillon's car would have pushed to turn 1 by Joey Logano. So
he was like, hey babe, bring the baby out. Bring the baby out. They can't whoop my ass if I have a baby in my hand.
Yeah,
bring the baby out. Come on, bring it out. I know you're filming your next season on E Entertainment, but bring the baby out. I mean, it's fucking wild. I think her lips are as wide as Talladega Super Speedway.
Oh my god, I don't know. She's not a real person. I don't think.
No, she's not.
She's AI generated before
Bro,
the thing.
She's like Barbie if Barbie went to a spray tan for 3 or 4 sessions.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean,
my god.
Good for Austin Dillon, I guess, because that motherfucker is ugly as a motherfucker, and he gets this damn. Whatever that, like you said, fucking AI generated wife that he has, that they popped out some fake ass baby. That baby probably already knows fucking math. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
that baby knows a quadratic formula right now.
I was streaming the end of that race with Miles Nelson, who's a big Denny Hamlin fan, and another guy in there who's a Joey Logano fan. And
wasn't Jack Mulkey, was it?
Well, no. This guy's more of a Penske fan than anything. And,
okay, that's
both of them were freaking out at the end. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't believe what I watched. I went downstairs and my dad was just like he couldn't believe what he just saw.
Yeah, even my dad texted me, and my dad doesn't really watch a whole lot of NASCAR races unless I'm with him, or he does like NASCAR. He's a huge Blaney fan because I am, but he texted me. He was like, that was some horse shit, and I'm like, yeah, it was some horse shit. That is not how you're supposed to. That was
actually unbelievable.
Yeah, and I get it. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin have done some very similar moves on the first one. On the second one, nah.
On the second one, maybe they're getting dumped.
Austin Dillon said, hey, I'm going to beat Joey Logano. And then Denny Hamlin got a good run, and Austin Dillon was like, nah, I'm going to get you too, bud. I'm going to take you out too. And I do see that, yes, Denny Hamlin was kind of moving up the track, but he didn't know Austin Dillon was there. Austin Dillon knew Denny Hamlin was there.
Austin Dillon went down a full lane.
Yeah.
Right?
And Austin Dillon went, yeah, I see him there, and I'm going to take care of it. And, luckily, Austin Dillon now is not in the playoffs unless he wins here in the next couple weeks, because he was 30th in fucking points before he wrecked 2 people to win. So,
that was bad.
I feel like NASCAR did the right thing there, though.
Honestly, he should have been suspended too to top that on. Because everybody else has been suspended for the same thing, but I don't know. He deserved what he got.
Yeah, and he's not going to make the playoffs now, so who cares? But
Yeah, wow, good to hear.
well, I got to get up in the morning and go to work, so I don't know what you got going on, but definitely send me that weather report after
I will
this
definitely get
podcast,
on
because
that. Yeah.
let me know, because I'm scared for Sunday, because I spent a lot of money on these tickets and I want to watch the damn race. But thank you for being on here, buddy. I'm excited to meet you here in a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
no, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, so thank you for being on the podcast. I know your schedule's busy. I appreciate it, and thank you for being on here. We'll try and have you on for another time. I know we didn't really get to talk about a whole lot, so we'll get into some of your other stuff, some of your controversy with the Chicago Street Course, and just talk a little bit more. But thank you for being a part of this, and we'll have a beer together hopefully here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it'll be a good time. So
You can have a Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'll have a beer.
absolutely. Yeah.
I'll get you an apple.
Yeah.
I'll get you an apple juice to chase it down with. But yeah, man, appreciate you being on. Love talking to you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm gonna try and do a live podcast from Atlanta.
Oh, that'll be good.
I don't. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
That'll be
I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm gonna try and figure something out. So we'll do a live podcast from Atlanta. But thank you for being a part of it. I'll let you exit out of the Discord. I'll close this thing out, but thank you again for being a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Love talking to you around. Have a good one.
All right, see you, bud. All right, that was Tommy Reynolds for episode number 28. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to go to bed. Got to get up and go to work tomorrow, so I appreciate y'all tuning in. This is a great podcast. Next Friday, we will be off. I'll be in Georgia, so we'll not have any of my setup. Won't have my camera, won't have my PC, won't have anything. Going back to Georgia for my sister's wedding. So flying out Thursday night. So will not be able to be in the Xfinity race on Fridays or do a podcast. So next week we're off. So y'all enjoy Fridays. Appreciate Tommy Reynolds for being on the podcast, and hopefully he sends a weather report to everyone like you said in the chat. So thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. We'll try and figure out who's going to be on the podcast. Thankfully, we didn't go 5 hours tonight like we did with Blake. But thank you again, Tommy, for being a part of it. Till we see y'all the next time, make sure you stay on that loud pedal.